some thoughts on GST and impact. But I think before, I give my thoughts on that, one thing which always amazes me about Dr. Sai is, or this event, is, it is one individual's effort, drive, to make this happen. And when you look at it, everyone does, puts in efforts for some, some reward, right? So some people do things for money, some people do it for the sake of family, some people do it, for the sake of their own maybe leadership or, awareness in the community. But when I look at Dr. Sai, I always wonder, what is that drives him, to do this year on year and, take the effort. I think all of you will appreciate the effort he has taken to get us all here, right, for this. I think he deserves a really big round of applause. Again, thank you, Dr. Sai. I think it is something, he's doing a great service to the fraternity to bring us all together. And, may this spirit continue going forward. And I'm definitely looking forward to the 25th award ceremony next year, which I'm sure will be a grand event. So looking at GST, I think Dr. Sai had given some thoughts on that. I think all of us are first looking at what is going to be the tax rate on which UPS is going to be bracketed, right? The intention of GST is that the tax paid by the end customer is more or less same what he is paying today with excise duty plus CST or excise duty plus value-added tax. So the first thing is, if you look at UPS, where would we be bracketed? So I think still, people are talking about we may get bracketed in the 18% GST rate for UPS. In some states, it's obviously if you take, some states have, more than 5% as value-added tax for UPS. So I think one thing is, as a fraternity, I think we need to make a representation till, the rate's fixed, that it does not exceed 18%. So that is one thing we will have to ensure that for the end customer, for a UPS product, it is going to be in the 18% bracket. Of course, there are related, things we will have to understand, like what is going to be the tax bracket for services we deliver, whether it is AMCs, obviously it is all going to have, a GST rate, and hopefully it should be the same rate that what the UPS is going to get bracketed at. So which means actually the taxation on service may increase. Today your service tax is lower, right, at around 15%. So, if it is getting bracketed at 18%, you may have an increase in service tax for the services that we deliver to our customers. Coming to solar, today in many states it is 5% or some states 0%. So again, for solar, selling of solar systems, again, I think we'll have to, highlight this to the authorities that it should be bracketed the lowest tax bracket, hopefully at 5%. So there is still uncertainty on what tax our different products are going to get bracketed at. So these, while these are getting finalized, yes, as an industry, we should lobby and ensure that, we are at the lower tax brackets. But when it comes to implementation, I think, like you, I am also following the news. It is not clear if it's actually going to come through and be in place by April. But, definitely all signs are that it should be in place at least by September. But, obviously the government is pushing to get the GST implemented, by April. But what does that mean for all of us, right? It is not that simple. While we talk about a unified tax structure, actually you will have to register and get your GST number in each state that you're doing the business. For example, we saw in Maharashtra, they've already opened, and we have registered in Maharashtra to get our GST number. But Tamil Nadu has not even, for example, opened, the process by which you can register for the GST. So there is some uncertainty, on the whole process of, how the different states are going to get involved in the GST framework. And that is something we all have to be on, on top of it as an industry. And of course, the other point which is even more critical is, the input credit we take as manufacturers and, the taxation with which we sell to customers. So it is not going to be that straightforward with GST, for you to take input credit. You can take input credit only after your supplier actually registers the sale, on the GST system. So they might have sold the product to you. I mean, today, as a manufacturer, we take input credit at the month, we receive the material or we manufacture the product. In the GST regime, only after your supplier has actually submitted that he has made the sale and it is in the system, only then you will be allowed to take the tax credit. So which means that there could be issues with respect to your working capital. Similarly, the customers that we sell to cannot take input credit of the GST till we as manufacturers, submit that this sale has happened. And there's going to be kind of a time frame or a date every month before which you will have to submit that. Otherwise, it goes to the next month. So there are going to be a lot of practical challenges, I think, as the GST is implemented. But of course, it levels the playing field. The playing field is leveled that taxation is going to be uniform for the products across the country. Of course, the other big benefit is you can move material easily across the country. You will not have the issues of road permit and other forms of taxation to move the materials. So definitely it is going to have a big impact on our industry, how we do business. I think the role of channel partners will also change in the new regime. The role of how we do warehousing and how we distribute products will change. So I think this will have a large impact on the industry. Should be positive in the long term, but like demonetization, the short term on GST implementation also, my view is, will be painful because it will involve changing your IT systems, ensuring your compliance. So I think this is going to, be another area. We have enough challenges to handle as the UPS industry, but this is one more, regulatory requirement that we will have to ensure compliance is there. So we have to ensure our IT systems and, are in compliant with the GST framework. So I think in short, I would my view here is all of us, all of you here will have to take this seriously. We'll have to understand what is the implication for your business, what are the changes that you will have to look at in terms of how this is implemented and for taking your business forward. So I think I've taken a lot of time, but these were some of the views as a company we are looking at as we are implementing GST. Again, thanks for the opportunity to share my views and again, wish you all a very happy UPS and Solar Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sriram sir. Thank you.